Well, it's been a while since I've been on the air. There are some clear skies in Texas, although here at home the skies are not clear, and hopefully over the weekend they'll be clear. But right now Texas has got good skies, the roof is open, and my plan is to do a long exposure of the Rosette Nebula. So I'm going to start, and hopefully it's dark enough that it'll be able to find the object and track it. If you recall from last time I broadcast from Texas, I had issues with disconnects, and as you saw, I had another disconnect. Since then, I had the team at Starfront Observatories take a look at whether or not there was any sort of impeding uh, reason or something blocking my Wi-Fi signal. And apparently the Mini-Mac is only about a foot from the C-Star. So what they did is they turned the C-Star off, turned it back on, recycled it, hoping it was just a software issue. And I also rebooted the Mini-Mac, or restarted the Mini-Mac, and tonight started out pretty bad. We had a disconnect. I don't know if we're going to continue having disconnect issues, but I will watch closely. If it continues to disconnect, then I think the troubleshooting goes to another level. I don't think it's just going to be a simple restart. So one of the things about the Mini-Mac is that it has a very short antenna. It's at the bottom of the Mini-Mac, and if there's anything blocking that antenna, you can have issues with reception. So even if you're a foot away, that could be an issue. We'll see. My hope is that that was just an aberration, and we won't have another disconnect, and we'll have a good night. But keep your eye out. Well, as you see, we have a disconnect, and it's not auto reconnecting. About the only thing I can do to get this thing to connect is to turn the Wi-Fi or toggle it off and on. I'm not sure why I'm disconnecting. I have a theory. Many Macs have a really tiny antenna, and it's right at the base, and if that gets blocked somehow, it can hinder Wi-Fi signal, and it might even be able to do that at a foot away. So I'm going to try to have that looked at. Now when I do toggle this back and forth, it's having issues loading the image. It's a slow load. So what I think is happening is that the Wi-Fi signal is weak, and my data rate is not high, so it takes a while to do the loading. So I'm hoping that it is something that's obscuring that very small antenna at the bottom of the Mini-Mac. But we'll see. I mean, you could have it resting on a pier, for example, and if the Mini-Mac were below the pier and the pier was made of metal, that could be enough to hinder it. And so even if it's a foot away, it might still block the signal. So I'll have the guys at Starfront check on that. But right now, this is really indicative of a very slow data rate. I mean, you can see that at the bottom, the clock is moving, which indicates the time that it takes for a frame to basically be exposed, and then so that data is coming across, but the image isn't. And I've tested this before. I know that it is taking the data, and I'm going to have all the images stored in a file. So my guess is it's just a very, very slow data rate. You can see the disconnect rate has increased. Well, unfortunate, but this is a problem that is in need of a solution. So I may cut this broadcast short and there, I toggled it. And it's not auto-connecting. There it is, auto-connected. Now, let's watch this for a moment. Yeah, the image is slow to load. Very poor data transfer rate, indicative of a weak Wi-Fi signal. It's essentially working, well, You can see the partial image that the clock is working and ticking away, and if you look at the cumulative time above, that's moving. So it's just that the more data intensive image is not loading. Well, this is going to be a short night because I don't have a scope up here in Columbia. It's cloudy and I'm not going to have a decent night until probably Friday. So in the meantime, I'm going to ask the team at Starfront to take a look at this and see if it's maybe not here blocking the signal from the Mini-Mac, even though it's just a foot away. I know that can happen. I've tested this at home, or let's say not tested, but had it happen on a Mini-Mac. It's certainly more than a foot away, but it's clearly well within the range of the Mini-Mac, and I was not getting the signal, and I was getting disconnects, and it turned out that there was something obscuring the path from the Mini-Mac to my home C-Star, so I fixed it by essentially mounting the Mini-Mac in a sideways position. Bought a little mount, and that way you have a better antenna exposure, so that worked. So maybe something simple like that can fix this problem. But at this point, I don't think it's worth staying on the air. Hopefully those of you who use a similar method for connecting to the C-Star, or those of you who plan to have a C-Star at Starfront Observatory, can learn from this that it is possible to have disconnects, and this is something that hopefully we can solve, and maybe in the future this problem won't happen to others. But I'm going to bid you adieu, and I'm going to terminate this broadcast, and I'll take data. So what I'll try to do is, when I do get a chance to try to download this, and it is slow with this data rate and this constant disconnecting, but my goal would be to post this, and hopefully you can open the file and see the image. So, good night.